What's up YouTube, Ultimate Like here, and today we're going to be going over the SNES Classic pre-order insanity. Today's been a long day. I'm going to hopefully go over everything and just basically giving a recap of how the entire situation was handled by GameStop, Target, Walmart, etc. It was just a crazy day, and this was only day one. Now, we don't even know if there's going to be pre-orders in the future. We do know that there's a lot of BS that's going to be happening. I'll be talking more about that at the end of the video. But, yeah, if you didn't end up getting your pre-order in, hopefully you will get one. Make sure to always be watching nowinstock.net, and don't even rely on notifications, because for half these pop-ups, I wasn't getting notifications, so you're just going to have to keep your eye on it. So, without further ado, let's just jump right in. Essentially, at, was it August 22nd, 1 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock in the morning, I was uploading a video, and I got this notification from Now in Stock saying that Best Buy pre-orders have gone live for the SNES Classic. So I jumped on bestbuy.com, saw the pre-order option, and went off and got my copy. I got the confirmation email, and I was just like, holy freaking crap, I got the first pre-order possible. This is amazing. Generally, Wave 1 pre-orders do not get canceled, so if you get it on day one, you're generally golden. Unless you're pre-ordering from Walmart and they go off and screw you over. Because that did happen to a lot of people about like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I was hoping that I could get a backup pre-order just in case that does happen with Best Buy. So I was going to look at Amazon.com and seeing if they were going to get any in stock. And a lot of the people in Now in Stock were saying that I was going to come around I want to say, what was it? 12 o'clock, or not 12 o'clock. 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, so it was basically 2 to 3 hours away, and I was not willing to go off and stay up awake for that potential chance, so I just decided to go to sleep, and I'd wake up around like 9 or 10 o'clock. I ended up waking up at 9 o'clock. I saw the Amazon.com ended up selling out at 7:39 a.m., and I was kind of bummed out about that, but I figured, well, only Amazon sold out. I didn't have to worry about any other retailers selling out, so I figured that I'd have more than enough opportunity to go off and get a reserve copy, because again, this is only day one. So I'm basically just doing Photoshop work, looking at basically rendering my videos and stuff along those lines, and 1 o'clock rolls around, or gets around to, and I look off and I see that Target now has it up for pre-order. I'm like, Target has it for pre-order? That's a rarity. Generally, Target's usually one of the last ones to have it for pre-ordering. So I go to target.com, I add it to my cart, and I'm doing this within like literally 10 seconds of it being announced. So I'm figuring that I have at least a solid 10-15 minutes, and I go and log in. I don't remember my username and password because I shop on Target all the time, right? So I have to go and recover that. That takes up about 30 seconds. I have dual monitors, so I'm just like breezing through this like really quickly. And I log into the account, add it to my cart, and it gets added to the cart. I go to checkout, and it won't allow me to check out. It says your cart's empty now. I'm like, what? And they ended up selling out within a minute. Within a minute. I literally like timed it all out, and it was a minute. I was like, how is this even possible? Just how? So I go back to Now in Stock, and there's about 10,000 people raging in the comment sections. There's so many new comments, like you can't even keep up with it. Every 2 to 3 seconds there's like 500 comments or something along those lines. So a lot of people obviously got the notification saying that Target's now in stock. So they all went to the Now in Stock page to go off and basically complain, saying that they didn't get it or they did get it. Well, 5 minutes after Target went in stock, GameStop went in stock. So everyone from Target's notifications went to GameStop.com. Everyone from GameStop's notifications went to GameStop.com. And GameStop also sent a message out to everyone stating the following. The SNES Classic is now available for pre-order. You can also pre-order it in-store. So just feel free to come on by pretty much while supplies last. So I was like, okay. Go to GameStop.com the second I got that email. And immediately went off and tried to pre-order, right? The problem is that I would type in SNES Classic, and nothing would show up. Nothing, right? The site was working completely fine, and it just wouldn't show any results. It'd show some like crappy SNES games and stuff like, or actually no, it didn't even show SNES games. It showed Duck Hunt and Mario Bros. 3. I don't know why it showed those games, because those aren't SNES games, but that's what it showed. And I was like, what the heck's going on? There's not even an option for it. And then 30 seconds later, after I do all my searches, the site's down. The site literally crashed from all the massive amount of traffic. So I'm looking at my email again. I'm like, wait a minute, it said in stores too. And this is within probably a minute of 30 seconds of everything happening. I live 5 minutes away from a GameStop, so got in the car, immediately drove down there, get to the GameStop, like, you guys got the SNES Classic up for pre-order? And they're like, we're sold out. I'm like, what? It's been like 8 minutes. I'm like looking at the thing. I'm like, 8 minutes ago, I got this email. You're saying you're sold out already? Like, yeah, we only had, our store was only allocated 15. There was one person in the store. Everyone else there was employees. What? 15? That's it? So, it seems like either the GameStop employees went off and they ended up getting it, which I can't even really blame them, right? Like, as much as I want to say, like, yeah, that's really scummy and stuff, but honestly, if I was a GameStop employee, I'd do the same thing. Like, they're not being paid all that much. They're having to do all this bull crap citing the whole power-up rewards line. At least they should get first dibs on, like, pre-order stuff along those lines. But for a store to only get 15 pre-orders on day one, that is a ridiculous problem. That's not an employee problem. That's a corporate problem. They should have allocated at least about 35 to 40. I want to say like 40, possibly 50 per store. Because the people who are walking in are taking their time to get to GameStop and actually showing up in person to pre-order. And that's not a bot. That's not someone you have to actually double check. That's a person that's like literally right in front of you. So that's something that really bothered me. So I go back home and I ended up missing Target's restock of a grand total of 2 or 3 minutes. So Target went back into stock for 2 to 3 minutes and then it went out of stock. And it did a few micro restocks. And some craziness along those lines. So GameStop, their site was down. The only way to actually get the SNES Classic pre-ordered was to go via their app, and their app wouldn't allow you to actually buy just the SNES Classic. They forced you to buy these stupid bundles. The first bundle was $100. You got the SNES Classic with a stupid paperback book for $99, so you're paying $15 extra for a paperback book. So something that GameStop couldn't sell alone, they just forcibly bundle it with you. So this is another problem that really bothers me. It's like, why are you selling this crap? We don't want to go off and buy your stupid bundles. We just want to buy one thing. And they do this because they can't sell their stuff without bundling. So it's either you buy this or you have a possibility of not actually getting the SNES Classic. So I was able to get the $100 bundle into my shopping cart, and I was going to actually go off and purchase it, but I ultimately decided not to. For the people who obviously are saying that I wasn't able to get in there, you just had to basically mass spam it. If you mass spammed it enough and constantly went back and forth, you would eventually get it into the cart and you could check out with it. That's how everyone else did it. That's how I did it. And it was up there for, I want to say, like an hour you were able to do that for. So all the bundles were live for at least an hour or two, and that's where GameStop made most of their bank. I don't even know how many, if they even sold even like 1,000 of just the SNES Classics, but they sold a lot of bundles. I think probably about 70% of their stock of SNES Classics were bundled. And then also ThinkGeek were doing bundles as well, which is owned by GameStop. So really, GameStop had two sites. GameStop on the mobile app and GameStop on thinkgeek.com that were doing bundles. And they then had only one way of actually getting just a standard console. So it was really scummy on GameStop's part, especially with the fact that in-store pre-orders were so limited. Like, it's crazy. There's a lot of actually journalists that wrote up articles about going to GameStop and there being lines of like 30 to 40 people and them not getting it because they're only allocated like 25 to 30 to 40 freaking ones per store. Actually, I don't even think it was 30. I think it was like 35, the article that I read. So it's pretty freaking bad. And then GameStop at 11 p.m. tonight went off and said, guess what, guys? If you weren't able to get the SNES Classic, don't worry. There'll be more in stock on launch day for walk-ins. That is a bold lie, because we all know that that's BS. That is 110% BS. At least Walmart and all the other sites, they don't comment, or they'll say that they just ran out of stock and there's nothing they can do. It's the retailer's problem or the manufacturer's problem. GameStop to say that, that's low, because we all know that that's not true. We all know that, yes, they will have probably 10 to 20 consoles on launch day, but we also know that there's going to be 20, 30, 40, 50 people camping out for 8 to 10 hours before the launch day to get those SNES Classics. So it's not going to be you just walking in there on when the store opens. It's going to be you sitting in a tent, or you staying up and sitting in line for 10 hours to get an NES Classic, which is absolutely ridiculously insane. You shouldn't have to go off and sit in a line for 10 hours for an $80 remake of a gaming system. That's crazy and ridiculous. Toys R Us announced that they're not going to be doing pre-orders. So same thing applies to Toys R Us. Hopefully they're going to have at least 100 per store, because if they don't, then that's going to be ridiculous. I'd really like to see, like, you know, when you walk into a store, when you get there, when the store opens, and you don't have to wait in a line, and you can just go up and pick up one, that'd be really nice, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think you're going to actually have to stay in there for most likely, like, probably at least 4 or 5 hours before you even have a chance of getting one. So we'll see how the whole Toys R Us situation goes out on release day, because they're not even doing pre-orders. Walmart hasn't made any comments. They did pre-orders. They did like pre-orders at a weird time. No one knew about the pre-orders. Like, I'm looking right now, and let's see right here, because I have now in stock on my second monitor. I don't see any Walmart notifications or anything along those lines. So we might still be waiting on Walmart to do pre-orders. I don't know, but supposedly a lot of people said that Walmart already did their pre-orders, so it's just up in the air right now. We don't know whether or not that's true or not. At least I don't. I'm sure it most likely is true that they did their pre-orders. I don't think they'd be left out. But Target is possibly donezo, and GameStop, from the tweet they did, it sounds like they're sold out. The banner, they even made a stupid custom banner when their website came out, because the website was crashed until like 9 o'clock. And the second it came back up, it had this giant banner saying SNES Classic sold out. So it looks like they're actually potentially completely sold out. They sold all the SNES Classics that they were allocated for their basically GameStop and whatever stores that they have as in bundles. They didn't even go off and just sell the actual systems. They just sold them in bundles, and maybe like 200 to 300 that weren't in bundles, which pretty much instantly sold out. So crazy day. Pretty crappy on GameStop. It's very disappointing to actually have that happen, but at least I ended up getting my pre-order from BestBuy.com. I got stupidly lucky. Had I not been awake during that time, I would not have an SNES Classic, and most likely I'd have to camp out an entire night, which I don't even know if I would even be willing to do that, because that's just ridiculous. But hopefully you guys, if you're watching, make sure to just be hovering nowinstock.com. Try to keep it open whenever you can, because even if you have notifications turned on, notifications are not going to help you out all the time. For example, I got notifications for Best Buy, and I got notifications for GameStop. I did not get notifications. Actually, I think I got notifications for Target as well. I can't remember if I got notifications for Target or if I just had Now in Stock running and I ended up seeing Target get posted up by another user. But I do know that GameStop, I didn't get notifications, but I got an email. So I had it set up for everything for nowinstock.com. I even was in the Google groups, and I didn't get notifications. So you just have to really be like basically just watching the page like a hawk, which I know a lot of people can't do. But hopefully you guys get your own system. If not, then maybe you might have to do the camping out, or maybe you have to go check out a Toys R Us. Hopefully you guys get it. I'm hoping for you guys. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure to comment, rate, and subscribe, and peace out.